Oh, yeah. That's probably too high. Anyway, what's up, jerks? Now you owe everyone a beer because your phone just went off. That's how
Is that the rule?
That's how Stone Cold Steve Austin
No,
does
it's
it.
2 beers.
That's how Stone Cold Steve Austin does it. Anyway, so we went to Rogue One, 7 p.m. on Thursday, first showing like a boss. I was gonna make a video right after I saw it, but then I kind of needed to mull it over and really soak it in. I don't know if that there was a lot that that or
What, that changed in your opinion?
no, I don't know. I was totally gonna come home at 10 o'clock and do like that instant, like, oh my god, and then I don't know. I think maybe I was too overhyped for the movie, so then I came out of it and I was like, okay, but not, yeah, which is odd because when I first heard about it, I was like, it's kind of one of those things. I was like, that sounds like the dumbest idea ever. Like, yeah, let's go get the plans. We got the plans, okay. But anyway, so Rogue One. Uh, there we go. Yarp. So, you're gonna use the blasters.
That's right.
All right.
Alright.
Okay, so it's not gonna be a review. We're gonna kind of. This is gonna be spoiler-ish, free form. We're just gonna talk about the. We're gonna go through the story kind of as it happened and kind of talk about any things we liked or didn't like or what was weird. So I guess we'll start out. The story starts. You are on. Okay, you're gonna have to help me with character names and planets. Our aspect ratio of the video, the movie we saw, was not correct. So the screen was too wide or too big. So actually, like a lot of times when it was showing the names of planets, it was barely in the screen. Or I
Yeah.
think there was a few times where people were subtitled, and it was barely in the bottom of the screen. It was like right here, right here. So like the bottom of the words were cut off. I mean, you could figure out what the hell it was even talking about, but it was still kind of weird.
Yeah. As far as the planet names, like, most of them were new, so it's... It's honestly hard for me to remember a lot of those. Oh, crap.
What names for people? So starts out with you're on a planet. It's a little vapor farm. It's not a vapor farm, but that's what I kept joking about it being, was a vapor farm.
Yeah, yeah. So they can vape?
No, because that's what Luke and them were.
It's a moisture farm.
Yeah, they were moisture farmers. Anyway, so you're on a little farm. Then some Imperial troops come down, and then you find out the guy is he defected or he just kind of left? I think he just kind of left.
I took it as he was in a retirement of some sort.
So anyway, he's the guy who was helping them build the Death Star, and then they decided they want him back to come help finish the Death Star. Shove that guy in the face. And then he tells the wife and kid to run. So as per usual in every movie like that, the kid stands there and does not run and watch everything happen, and the wife instead comes back and starts shooting at the Imperial troopers, and she gets murdered. So anyway, the kid hides down in a bunker, and then she gets picked up by Forrest Whitaker of Battlefield Earth. That's just mean. Why you gotta say he's from Battlefield Earth? You should probably shoot that guy. He's gonna like run all the way up to you.
So the characters in question are Galen Erso, who's Mads Mikkelsen. He is the architect, or one of the main architects of the Death Star. His daughter, Jyn Erso, who's a little girl at this time.
And his wife, Dead Urso.
Yeah, Dead Erso.
Dead Lady Urso. Okay, so they murder her, assuming take him back. The Jyn finds in a hole, picked up by Saul, who apparently, that character, were they saying, someone said he was in either Rebels or Clone Wars, which I guess I was not aware of.
He is Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
And he was in Clone Wars.
Okay.
He was a rebel on the side of the Onderons, and he fought alongside of Ahsoka and Anakin.
Okay. So then we jump forward after that. Is it... Oh my god, did you just get hit by a missile? So, is it that... I'm sorry, I need to quit watching. Okay, so, and is that, at that point then, we jump ahead and we go to her being arrested?
Okay. The other thing was they were being harassed by a character by the name of Krennic.
Director
Krennic, who is in charge of the Death Star, it seems.
Yes, and he's a douche. I mean, what? Anyway, let's see. So we jump ahead. Turns out that there's a pilot that's defected from the Empire with important information, and the other rebels know about it, and they know that he is going to Seoul.
Mm-hmm.
So then, what's the name of the general lady from Star Wars? From, like, New Hope?
Mon Mothma.
Mon Mothma?
She wasn't in New Hope. She was in Return of the Jedi. And actually, the rebel leader dude is Saw Gerrera. Like, I saw it go.
Oh, okay. Well, you know that... No, she was in the first Star Wars, A New Hope. She's the one where then Lois goes, oh, look, another woman. And she goes, I don't like her. She gives them the plans and says a lot of people died getting these plans. And we're like, let's see how they did. Anyway, how did you not hit that guy right in the face? So, let's see. They find out that he's got this guy, and the guy's got important information, so they want the information. Then they find out, apparently they know where Saw does not have Jyn Erso anymore. Apparently at some point he left her on a planet, you find out, apparently. And she's been on her own, and she gets arrested by Imperial troops, but then gets broken out by the other rebel people. Your main rebel people from most of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
They get her out, and then I think in her scene you meet Alan Tudyk, who is probably one of the best, other than the blind guy, is probably one of the best characters in the movie. He's an Imperial robot that has been what's the word?
He had his memory wiped.
Yes. He was not rebooted. I can't think of the word.
Reconditioned?
No.
Refurbished?
No. Reprogrammed.
There you go.
Reprogrammed. Anyway, so apparently, yeah, I guess I didn't realize it was Alan Tudyk either, but clearly, probably one of, like, the best characters of the whole movie. And he's the comic relief of the movie.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And, yeah, you should probably shoot that guy. So there's him. You meet him, and his first scene's pretty solid with Jyn Erso.
Yeah, where she tries to escape and he stops her.
He says, you are being rescued. Please do not resist. You need to quit getting hit by rockets. So, let's see. They get her. Then you find out that they want her because they know who she is and that she has the connection to Saul, and they want to get to Saw so that they can get this pilot that defected from the rebellion. Because apparently everybody knows about him. I know there's a part where was it or before then where they show what's the name of our main fella?
Galen?
Yes.
Galen Erso?
No, not the Erso. The
Cassian Andor.
Cassian. Okay,
Captain
so
Cassian Andor.
is that when he shoots one of the, like, for some reason they do one of these things where I don't like, where he's like, give me the information, and the guy's like, no, there's Imperials coming, I can't. And he's like, give me the info, and he's like, no, I can't do it, I can't. And then, like, he literally, all he had to say is that, oh, Saul has this Imperial pilot. That's literally all the information he had, and that's all he had to say. But instead he spends like 20 minutes freaking out about, like, oh, I gotta get out of here, they're coming to get me. And then Cassian just blows his brains out.
Yep, yep.
so they don't get captured. Anyway,
And
so-
honestly, I don't even know the names of these planets. Most of them are really cool, but they were very forgettable planets.
yes. So I believe it's at that point they go to Saw. Saw is at a planet which is apparently a rebel. It could have easily been in KOTOR.
Yeah, it was, I think this is not, Jeddah?
Jeddah.
Jeddah, that's what it is.
And it is a former Jedi temple. Apparently one of the main ones because it had stored all of the...
It houses kyber crystals, which
Yes.
they use for lightsabers.
You would know that if you played KOTOR.
That's
And you
right.
had to craft your own lightsabers. You would know. So, yeah, they did that. That's that guy just blasting that dude's shield. So, basically, they're using those crystals to make the Death Star, or that's what makes them work. So they go to that planet. On that planet, not only do you meet Saw, and then there's that weird alien. I didn't get the part with the alien thing where he's eating the guy's face to see if he's telling the truth. It's like, yeah, the guy's telling the truth. Whatever.
That thing was weird.
Yeah, and kind of unneeded. And then the part where they're like,
I agree.
he'll suck your brains out, and the pilot's like, so then he's like, for a minute, he's like, I don't know
Yeah,
who
he's
I
all-
am. And then they're like, you're a pilot. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a pilot. I'm here. Here we go. Let's go.
Yep.
Like, then it's like, they could have just cut that. Cut it. This is like delete.
Yep.
Delete.
Delete.
You don't get
Gone.
Did you watch it
Gone.
while we're at that total nonstop deletion?
Total.
It's bonkers. Anyway, so yeah, they the other characters you meet are the blind, I would say Force adept.
Yep.
Yeah, no one's really a Jedi, but apparently he's a blind guy who's awesome. And he's probably the second best character behind the...
Yep, that's a character played by Donnie Yen.
You're Donnie Yen.
Let me pull up their names.
Donnie
I'm tired of not knowing their names.
Donnie Moose. I don't think we have that kind of time. Anyway.
going.
And then you meet his buddy who likes to shoot people, and he's got the biggest giant ass backpack you've ever seen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't. The whole time I'm watching that guy going like, how come he's always like running around with that thing? It's like ginormous. He's got this giant backpack, just like. Anyway,
Okay, Donnie Yen plays Chirrut Imwe.
you know, Sheridan Way, blind guy, Force adept. But anyway, so
And
he.
Baze Malbus is the guy you're talking about. His
Okay.
name is Baze Malbus.
Okay. So anyway, they go captured by Saw, go get the thing. Apparently, during this section in time, you see Grand Moff Tarkin comes onto the ship, which apparently... So here's me, completely did not realize that guy was dead and that was completely digital.
Okay, so let's talk about the Tarkin. There's two huge pieces of CGI in this movie. One was Tarkin,
Yes.
and it was Peter Cushing's face pasted over the guy who played
The Gollum.
the Minister of Magic, the evil Minister of Magic in Harry Potter, the last couple of movies.
Okay.
The kind of ratty-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that does the voice of Tarkin, and he also plays the body of Tarkin in that.
Yeah, I completely did not even, like, till someone said it later, I'm like, I completely forgot that guy was dead. So I was just like,
So,
holy balls, I
from
just
what
watched
I've
the whole
s-
movie with that dude
Yeah,
in it.
so from what I was seeing is, to me, it looked really good. I've seen so many people say it was horrible looking. I did not see it look bad at all.
I thought he looked really deathly in the face, but also he's a high-level Imperial guy, so I was pretty okay. Like, yeah, he's gonna look deathly because he's a douche. Anyway.
Well, that and freaking Tarkin, Peter Cushing looks that way.
Yeah. well,
Like,
he
Peter
did.
Cushing had the sunken face, too.
So, let's see. So he decides he wants the, what does he want? Oh, he wants a test of the, Death Star weaponry.
Yep.
Apparently they can put it to not full power, so it can just blow up a city instead of a whole planet, which is extremely convenient. But then again, I don't think it would have really mattered if they'd blow up a whole... I guess it would kind of give away their whole thing if everyone would kind of know if they blew up a whole planet at one point. But anyway, so who's your other cameo by? The guys from the cantina?
Oh, Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan.
like, we're wanted men.
We have
Yeah.
a death sentence on 5 systems or whatever.
Yeah, those guys suddenly popped up and
And it ruined the movie. I mean, the movie just sucks like everything because of them.
yeah, it wasn't really needed, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, but yeah, I was I was fine. I don't know. I didn't do anything for me with them being there, so I don't know.
Same.
Uh, but people need to quit. They need to quit getting so worked up about people bumping into them, or else they might lose an arm. Anyway, so they blow up the planet. Our heroes get off it. And then Cassian was also, when they got sent on the mission, was supposed to kill Saw for the rebels, because apparently the rebels are pretty badass. Anyway,
I mean, they're rebels. They're everything
but
at all costs.
but he was also a rebel. Anyway, so yeah, they blow up the planet. She sees, Jyn Erso sees the microchip of her dad, or a hologram similar to the ones in the other movie, or the later movie. What do we call that? The original trilogy of her dad telling her, "Hey, I put messed up the system in the Death Star and made it so that there's a way to beat it." Which, to me, that brought up the issue. So I know I messaged you about it, but it's like, so do you think, because everyone has always said about Star Wars that that's such a bullshit, like, oh, just shoot this little hole and then the whole thing blows up. So now we're being faced with the fact that he's saying, I did that a guy on the inside, the engineer of it, said, I did that on purpose because this is messed up and I don't want to be any part of it, basically. So do you think that was a plan forever, like the whole time, like George Lucas is like, yeah, or do you think this is a backtracking, like, hey, let's fix one of the biggest plot holes in the entire series, where you're just like, oh, you can blow it up, just shoot. I mean, it's like the size of a womp wrap, you can just shoot in there.
Yeah. Obviously Lucas didn't have things planned very well when he did. I mean, that's kind of obvious.
What?
I was saying in a bad way. Like, the first Star Wars plays well on its own. Like, if it didn't have any sequels, it'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're going with just luck that this worked out great.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. So she sees the thing. Then they get out of there before the plant blows up and decide. And they take the. What were they? What's the thing that they're called? They were guardians of the crystals, basically.
Guardians of the Wills.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
They're called Guardians of the Wills. In the original Star Wars script, the Jedis were originally, or the story of Star Wars was documented in a thing called the Journal of the Wills.
Okay.
And these guys are the Guardians of the Wills.
Okay. So they take them with them. You got your wisecracking robot.
That's right.
You got your captain, and then Jyn. They decide to go attempt to bring back her father.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cassian is again. They say, "Hey, go ahead and kill that guy." So he's in charge of killing her father when she's going to save him. There was a lot of shenanigans there at some point where they decided that they needed to... Oh my god, don't get your Rodian killed. So what was it that they decided to attack the place? But it's also the same time that director shows up, because I guess they figured out that the pilot that left them came from there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why everyone is heading there. The director gets there. It's the usual thing where he says, hey, whoever it was that leaked these plans, we're going to kill all these engineers unless one of you steps forward. And then he steps forward and they kill them all, and I was like, what?
Well, you got the whole reason why the pilot was even there, right?
Which pilot?
The one that ends up helping him in the end.
Because he transports stuff?
No, because they didn't know where Ursa was.
Well, yeah.
So Cassian brought him to... to
But then-
one place so he
but
could
then-
find them.
Yeah, so then they knew though, and then so that's what the rebels sent a fleet to go attack that planet.
And he also didn't know what Ursa looked like.
Oh.
But since the pilot got the directions directly from Ursa,
Yeah.
or from Galen Urso, then
Okay.
that's why that's why they had to go to Saw Gerrera's place to get the pilot.
Saw Gerrera. Okay, so they go there. There's a lot of shenanigans. The rebel fleet comes at the same time that the bad guy, the director guy, is there, and everyone's trying to kill. Cassian decides not to kill him. But then he gets killed anyway by, I believe, like when the rebels are bombing crap.
Yeah, they're trying to kill Urso if he can't, or if he doesn't.
I thought they were just trying to bomb up the whole thing. Somehow the director guy escapes again, and then I believe, is this when the director goes and talks to, is it the planet from Revenge of the Sith?
Yes, he's on Mustafar, and that is Darth Vader's castle.
And that's where he's got his house set up. You see Darth Vader in the Bacta tank,
Yep.
and that was pretty awesome. You just see like his broken arm and stuff, and he's got all his stuff off, and he's just sitting in there. He's got all his the red fucking troopers around him.
Yep, and he's giving off his one-liners.
Yeah, there was a horrible one-liner when he meets with the director guy. So yeah, the director guy, after Urso's dead, he goes to meet with that guy. What was the reason? Okay, so he goes to talks to Darth Vader, and then he says something stupid. He gets force choked a couple times. Vader makes a horrible joke. Then Jyn Urso goes, and they go back to the Rebel base or whatever on Yavin 4, and they have two shots with the guy sitting up in the thing as the planes are coming down, and he goes, "Pachoo, pachoo, gotcha,
Yep,
gotcha." So yeah, they have like two shots of that guy, which I was like,
Oh.
every time I was like, "Pachoo, pachoo."
Vader's one-liner was, don't choke on your aspirations.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it just because it was ridiculous. Anyway. So, let's see. So, yeah. So he goes meets with Vader because for some reason he's obsessed with... Grand Moff Tarkin is basically taking over the Death Star, and he's like, no, that's mine.
Yes.
Oh, it's mine, I want it. And
The
then,
biggest thing I saw with this, the thing I love the best about this movie, is it showed how ruthless Tarkin was.
Yes.
That he was willing just to throw Krennic under the bus to advance his own
He
positioning.
didn't care. And then, who's the other guy? So then, yeah, she goes talks to the rebels and says, hey, we need to fight. And they all go, no, it's okay. And she's like, well, I saw the thing from my dad that says we can blow this thing up. And they're like, no. And for some reason, they got a pilot and her both saying, like, hey, Galen Urso was working to help destroy the thing, and no one believes them, too, so, okay. So, yeah. So then our rogue troops, our Rogue One, I believe they take the stolen transport that they got from whatever planet it was that Galen Urso was on. They have a transport, so it can fit more guys. They grab a bunch of guys, and they decided to go to they have a planet, a Citadel planet that basically has all of their plans and, what's the word? Documents, apparently?
Databank.
Databank, yes. So they go to that planet to get the schematics for the Death Star. Let's see. They're at that planet. They have to get through the gate. I think our K2 says something about it. I have a bad feeling, and they said, shut up.
Shut up, you bitch.
Yeah. They know he was about to say, I have a bad feeling about this. And then someone went, that's because in the other movies, it's like, oh my god, yes, we understand. Anyway. I don't think this is people's first Star Wars movie. I'm just guessing. How do you keep missing those? You're like right on their faces. Anyway, then, so they have the planet is blockaded by a shield gate, and apparently the password for it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or was that what you thought when they were showing it? Because that's exactly what I thought.
Yep, it's the same combination as my luggage.
It looks like there's a guy right there. You might want to shoot him. It looks like the gate out of Spaceballs for reals. For reals. Spaceballs. Anyway.
And the next is a complete series of everybody doing what they need to succeed in the mission and then dying in the process.
Yeah. So, you got... There's a lot of good moments for everybody. Your blind guy and a bunch of troops all go down to... basically, they're creating a distraction so that... Oh, I was going to bring up the point. So, hey, you know what probably the worst job in the Empire is? Is probably being the guys that have to go onto a ship to inspect it. Because those guys are always dying.
Yep.
Like, So, yeah. So, some guys go into... And once they get the transport down, some guys go down to inspect the ship. And guess what? They get conked on the head. And their clothes get taken. And that's how Jyn and they take the robot and K2.
Yeah, but somehow she finds a really small stormtrooper. A really small death trooper.
Yes.
Like a really small
one. And they had... I thought it was cool. They had lots of, like, other... troopers, because basically I think in the original trilogy you pretty much see stormtroopers and then you have the red guys, and like these have they have the black stormtroopers, and yeah, so there was a bunch of different guys that you're not quite used to seeing. Those guys right there. So then so yeah, they're making their way through the world today.
The only way they knew how.
Oh. So then they're going up through the Citadel. They're finding plans for some... What was the reason why the director guy was there?
On the planet?
Yeah. Why did he go there?
He was going down to actually stop them.
No, he didn't know about it until after... He was already there, and he was there for... He asked for some... He asked for something. He was there to get something, and then I don't remember what. Because they're like, oh, do you want them all? And he's like, yeah, yes, I want them all. So then he's standing there, and then they start getting attacked. You're seeing fucking AT-ATs on a beach. You're seeing all kinds of craziness, like it's madness. And so there's lots of fighting. I'd say 15 minutes of like just all out craziness. They're trying to jump through a lot of great scenes with K2. They get the database. Turns out something about they can't.
Okay, you want me to go through the whole thing?
Well, which part?
Just like the whole reason everybody has to do what they do at the end.
Well, okay. Well, the Rebel fleet. Well, the Rebel are. Yeah. Well, is it like the Mon Calamaris and a bunch of half of the rebels like hear that these people went there to get the thing, so they decide to go there and help out. So then they realize that they need to shut down the shield gate because they realize that they can transmit the plans out of there's a giant satellite. So they can transmit the plans out if the gate's down. So
and the Rebel cruiser also has to know that the transmission is coming because they're blocking.
Yes.
So that's why they have to have the guy on the So basically the guy on the ship has to get a hardline a signal so he can shoot a signal out to the Rebel cruiser to let them know that the plans are going to be uploaded to the ship. Then another group needs to get the shield shut down.
I thought you were gonna say
and then another group needs to go get the gate or get the data tape. So it's pretty much just like clockwork, one by one. So Jyn Erso and Andor and is it K2, the robot?
Yes.
K2, Alan Tudyk are all going into the base to get the data tape. And K2 ends up holding off the stormtroopers long enough for...
Yes, that's a great sequence.
Yep, for Jyn and Cassian to be able to get into the place to get the data tapes. As he's doing that, the pilot... Let me get his name.
Cassian. Or the other guy.
Yep, and then they switch to... the pilot, who is... Where is he?
Han Solo.
He has no name. What?
Jimmy No Name, yeah.
Jimmy No Name. I'll get his name. Anyway, he tells Chirrut and
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
You don't get it.
I'm trying to get the actual names of these friggin'
I kind of
people.
shot that guy a lot.
Where's the cast? Alright, here we go.
Well, you don't really need names because they did.
Okay, so Chirrut, he tells Chirrut and Baze Malbus, the pilot's name is Bodhi Rook, that they need to, or he's gonna hardline onto the transmission tower to be able to transmit to the rebel ship that they're going to be sending an upload to the ship, which is the data plans.
What the?
In order to do it, they have to hardline it, and then they have to go flip a switch across the way, because, you know, reasons.
Because of reasons.
So then Chirrut has to cross the battlefield, and keep in mind, in the movie, he's not a Force user, he just believes in the Force. Because
he's adept.
Because he is with the Force, and the Force is with him, and he says that across the whole battlefield. He avoids all the blaster bolts.
Yeah.
Kind of like R2 and C-3PO from the original movie. And he ends up dying as he's hitting the switch that they need to hit.
Jesus Christ, get the...
The pilot ends up dying from one of the Death Troopers throws a grenade into the ship.
Yes.
Where he's at after he gets the transmission hooked up and contacts the ship. All the while, Baze Malbus ends up finding Chirrut's dead body and ends up killing every single one of the Death Troopers as he dies himself to a grenade, I believe.
Are you serious?
And that dude is crazy.
Got a bowcaster. Oh, I blew him up already. Never mind.
So that the Rebel cruiser knows that the transmission's coming.
Yep.
The Rebel fleet cruiser knows that they have to shut the shield down.
Shut the shit down.
Which is cool. The Rebel cruiser commander is, let me look for his name.
Apparently I'm just going to keep shooting at my guys because they keep...
He's a Mon Calamari dude. God, I can't remember his name, but I do know he is played by Steve Stanton.
Admiral Akbar.
Steve Stanton does tons of voices on the Rebels and Clone Wars. He did Tarkin on the Clone Wars. He didn't do Tarkin's voice in this movie, though. But he plays the Mon Calamari dude. And he sends out a Corellian Corvette Hammerhead ship, which I believe was also from Rebels.
Admiral Akbar.
Essentially Admiral Akbar, but not Admiral Akbar.
His name was Admiral Akbar Jr.?
Admiral Akbar Jr.
Or Senior, I guess.
Who then takes the Star Destroyer and pushes it into...
I don't know. I keep looking at these guys, I'm like, are they my guy?
Pushes it into the gate, which opens the shield up for them to be able to send that data tape through.
Yep. So, I guess we can kind of get to... Are you kidding me? So, I guess, yeah. So, they get through all the stuff. Basically, they send out the stuff. It gets to the Rebel ship. Oh, God, I almost shot that guy. Who is it? It's got thermal imploder.
Cassian Andor and Jyn Erso end up meeting, or running into Krennic at the top of the spire as they're trying to...
that was kind of weird. And then, Kevin Smith was talking about how there's all these, like, scenes that were in the trailers that weren't in the movie.
Oh, yeah, there's tons.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting, aren't they?
We can do a little bit of that here in a bit. So, essentially, the Jyn and Cassian have to take the data tape to the top of the tower and transmit it to the Rebel ship. So they end up running into Krennic and shoot him, and...
Are you guys kidding me?
They end up, obviously, transmitting the Death Star plans to the Rebel ship. Just as they do that, they drop down to escape off the spire. They end up shooting Krennic, Director Krennic, Ben Mendelsohn, and disables him. He goes and gets knocked unconscious for some reason. I don't know how, but he.
I didn't understand that.
So then they basically go, and after that, it's mostly the Rebels are done. I mean, all of them are dead except for Cassian and...
Is this gonna go, or what the hell am I doing with this?
I don't know.
I'm like, look at the thing. So at the same time, they get the plans out, and then Grandma Tarkin is like, F that noise, blow up the fucking city.
Yep, instead of leaving the risk of the Death Star plans actually falling into Rebel hands,
Was that
blow
really
up the
what
whole
he was
planet.
worried about, or was he just kind of like, whatevs, yo?
No, no, no. I think he was trying to blow the planet up because of the Death Star plans.
So,
Because I believe at that point he had found out about uh, Urso.
that they knew that he was a defector.
Yeah, that there was a weakness in the Death Star.
Yeah.
So he just decided to blow the planet up. The coolest part with that scene is, I don't know if you noticed it, but the Death Star blast goes straight through the tower where Krennic is at.
Oh, does it?
It goes straight through the top part where he's laying at. And ends up blowing the planet up, and then obviously Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor die as the planet is also destroyed.
Yeah, so pretty much everybody in the Rogue One dies. So, let's see. Then it leads to probably one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yes, Vader boarding the Rebel cruiser.
And this is pretty much everything you wanted out of every Star Wars thing ever, which was to see a Force unleashed.
Yep.
Oh, damn. Like too many
Vader
things.
wrecking shop
Yes, so basically, yeah.
as they play hot potato with the data tape.
Yes, and I love that sequence of like, even when you're like watching it, and you know obviously they have to get the plans out, but you're still just like, are they fucking gonna get out? You're like fucking ruined because the guy's
Yep.
got Vader charging behind him, and he's just you gotta watch it. It's amazing, and it's everything you probably ever wanted out of seeing a Vader just waste fools.
I had an idea about that scene. I honestly think that the whole Rebels crew was meant to die there, and that was one of the things that got changed by Disney.
Which crew? The Rogues?
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted them to get off the planet? Because I kind of like the way it went, where
Yeah, I was
they
thinking
didn't
that
make
they
it
were going to
off
get
the
off planet, and then they were all going to get killed by Vader there at the end.
What? All right.
Because there wouldn't have to be a whole lot to change for them to go get on a ship and leave.
Yeah. So it was an amazing adventure. I guess my only issue was, I guess I wasn't overly shocked by that everyone died.
That, and then the very end is the worst CGI I've ever seen, and that's Carrie Fisher's face. Unlike the Tarkin thing, which I really liked and thought was very good, the Princess Leia was not even remotely close to looking like a human being.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but I like the yeah. So then there was that little thing, and then it literally, this movie ends. Rebel scum. This movie literally ends at the exact moment where 4 begins. Like, you could literally just time together.
Yep. Shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really like that their ship came directly out of the... It came out of the ship that Vader was wasting through. That just seemed kind of weird. And then, so it's like... Because then it kind of makes the part where, on 4, when they're trying to be like, oh, that's my guy. In episode 4, when they're like, no, we're not with the thing. It's like, he literally saw you just jump out of your ship, come out of that other ship.
Yep.
Okay, I changed sides, and now I'm still trying to shoot stormtroopers. Rebel scum.
Okay, so we basically went through the whole plot.
Yes.
Well, the whole thing.
Yay. So I guess my only issue with the movie is I wasn't shocked. You a-hole. Seriously? I'll shoot you in the face. I wasn't overly shocked that everyone died. I know some people sounded like they were. I was not so much.
Yep.
Because that's kind of what I figured. Especially in episode 4, she says a lot of people died to get these plans.
Yep.
Oh, in your face. So, and then, yeah. So then I just feel like I wasn't over... Like, honestly, the person that... Well, when K2 died, I was probably the most sad.
Yep.
When the robot died, so...
He died so immediately. He was just hitting the button to hold the door.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And in all honesty, he didn't really die. He just got disabled. He got shot the crap out of, but...
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add about this stuff? It was an amazing movie. Some people are already putting it up in their like top 3 of like Empire, or their favorite movies being Empire.
We can get into our rankings here in a bit, but...
Well, in a different video.
So the things that bothered me the most were the Leia thing. Like the Leia face was just freaking. It just took me completely out of the movie with that. I don't know why.
Because you hate Leia, just admit it.
I didn't have a problem with everybody dying. I figured that was gonna happen. It wasn't too bad of a movie. The biggest problem I had with the movie is I just never got, like, invested with anybody in the movie.
Yeah, and was my exact thing too. It's like I was really...
Like, there was cool, like, Donnie Yen's character, Chirrut Imlay, was cool.
Yes, and he was cool, and the robot was cool. Other than that,
Yeah.
everyone else I was going like, whatevs.
Like, even Jin, like, the main character in it, just...
Yeah, it's like, whatevs.
It's like, yeah, it sucks to be the daughter of the guy who designed the Death Star, but...
Rebel scum.
Alright, so... I don't know how you want to do a rating. Do you even want to do a rating? Or you just think we should put it into our Star Wars rankings, how we would rate the movies?
Sure. Let's do that.
So you can go first. So there's...
We're doing rankings?
8 movies, not counting the Ewoks movies, because those would obviously be the lowest, because screw Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley?
Because he was in those.
What?
Yeah.
I'd go Empire.
Empire 1. Okay.
Probably New Hope.
Okay.
I recently watched A New Hope, and yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go to Toshi Station and get Pelican Murders. What is that? I will collect
Pokemon?
them. I will collect them all. Okay. And then I would say I really liked Force Awakens. I know a lot of people are like, whatever, so 4 again, but I loved Force Awakens. So. And then I don't know. I think I feel like I've changed on Jedi over time. How come there's these guys that are just invincible they keep running into? I kind of changed on, okay, what was I saying? Oh, eat it.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, Return of the Jedi. I remember liking a lot more when I was younger, and then, upon recent watchings, you're like, eh.
I hear you.
But I guess I go Jedi, and then, I don't know. I remember when Attack of the Clones first came out, I really enjoyed that movie and watched it a lot. How is that guy not dead? I'm shooting him point blank in the face.
He's like, what?
Yeah. Eat it. Way to go, a-hole.
So then you get the prequel trilogy left, and you got Rogue One left.
Oh, well, no, I'd put Rogue One probably before Jedi, I guess.
So you do ESB, A New Hope, Force Awakens, then Rogue One, then Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I keep trying to slide. I've been playing too much Titanfall and Call of Duty, so I'm trying to slide away. And then yeah, I'd probably go. I guess I don't know. I don't. Cause it's, there's a lot of stuff horrible with those original trilogies, but they all have cool moments that I feel were good.
Yep.
But because basically Darth Maul was awesome.
Definitely was.
And then I guess maybe 3 was kind of weird. You did get General Grievous. I don't understand the... God damn it. I kept getting shot by some dude. I'm like, oh, it's shooting me. Yeah. Where are you going on the thing? So yeah, I can't really order the prequels because I'm like, they all got their moments that are pretty okay. Everyone likes when the Jedis and Attack of the Clones come down.
If I were to go 1, I would probably say A New Hope 1 over Empire Strikes Back. And not just because it's the first one, and I wouldn't watch the other ones without that one. That's not the reason why.
That is the reason why, and you are a liar. No, I don't know.
If I were to go 2, I would probably be Empire Strikes Back. I think 3...
God damn.
Probably Force Awakens.
Yeah, I heard a lot.
And then
Yeah.
4...
I really just don't get this thing where people are like, oh, like Force Awakens. It's like, what?
4, I would go Return of the Jedi.
Damn it.
They just don't give no fucks on that.
Run away!
And then you got Rogue One and the prequels. I honestly would say I enjoyed Revenge of the Sith better than Rogue One.
Oh my god, you're going way out there.
It's close on the Phantom Menace.
Is it because of the younglings?
I think a lot of it, like I said, was just you didn't give me shit to care about the characters.
Where'd that asshole go?
I did not care about any beyond like how sad it was the robot died and the people's deaths. I did not give two shits about any character in that movie.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even care about the stuff with Jyn Erso that you were supposed to care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably go Revenge of the Sith, and then I would say probably Rogue One, Phantom Menace, tied for 6th.
I don't know. You did see Phantom Menace in the theater 9 times.
I saw it a lot.
9 times.
So I know what I'm talking about with the Phantom Menace.
9 times.
And Attack of the Clones, I think, is just the worst movie. It's not bad. I don't think there's such a thing as a bad Star Wars movie.
Well, there was the...
Except for the Ewok movies.
I was never a fan of the part in where she's like, we can't be together, and he's like, it's not over, I love you. That was Anakin's way of getting Padme to fall in love with him. It's not over, I love you.
Do you want tiki cups this size?
This size? No, that was...
the thing that ruined the prequels, besides... I don't even know if it was necessarily Lucas. I just don't think... I think the script was probably not good. And I mean, that's Luke. Oh, I guess it probably is Lucas majority of the time. But fucking Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman looked like they were there just to cash checks.
Are you talking about like Tobey or everyone in Spider-Man 3 and the third in Spider-Man 3?
And see, I didn't mind Spider-Man 3 a whole lot.
Yeah, but it was pretty clear that Kirsten Dunst and all them didn't like it. Anyway, we'll digress. Yeah, so... You've probably already seen hopefully before you watch this, you already saw Rogue One. Any comments or like any of your thoughts? We'd love to hear them. You can hit us up on Twitter at PraiseOdin821 or at Dr. Major Koval. And then also you can leave comments on the video.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're all tattooed out.
Just a bit.
But anyway, so yeah, Rogue One. As I'll say, what's the next thing we got coming out? Or when is the Han Solo or young Han Solo one coming out before 8? I am Groot. No!
Bradley Cooper.
Yes, we got amazing movies coming out. So, yes. Alrighty then. Also, we're going to try a new thing, maybe similar to this, but probably maybe not while we're playing games. So, Netflix reviews. You might have seen our horrible attempt at talking about yoga hosers, but really we were playing Broforce, and we were super into playing Broforce and could barely make sentences.
Yep.
So, we're going to try to do more regular reviews, not while we're playing games. We like to play games and then talk about shit, so that's why we do these. But with these but I'm thinking we'll just review random stuff on Netflix, since almost everybody has now Netflix, and if you don't, then you're lame because it's amazing. Anyway, yeah, I'll just throw this out there. Also, if you're looking for a new podcast on the Podcast One Jericho Network. They just added one called Beyond Darkness. It's a total like paranormal stuff, so check that out.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah. So leave comments, like and subscribe.
Yep.
Bonk.
He's IG.